Hello, this is Steven Kreiner with the 2023 in the bag. Start with the putting putters. I have two judges here, red one and the yellow one. I just love the dependable flight of the judge. Feels good in my hands, and I'm very confident with the judge putter whenever I'm putting. Moving on to my throwing putters, I carry 4 throwing putters. I use a culprit as my overstable approach disc. I know it's more of a mid-range, but I treat it more of a putter. I like to throw it backhand, and especially when I need to get to the left really quick. This thing gets to the ground very quickly and moves from right to left very quickly for me. Use this a lot on my forehand approaches as well. It can really go straight for me and then fade to the right towards the basket when I need it. Culprit is definitely one of the newer discs in my bag that I really love when it comes to the approach game. The next 2 discs are the Fusion Judge. This is my main one, the Page Shoe run. It is very dependable. It's very straight when I need it to be straight, and if I want to have a touch of hyzer on it, get it to fly around an object, it's dependable for that. Little flick shots as well. I really love Judge, and this is just my backup just in case I were to lose this during the round. My last putter / approach disc is my Deputy, my understable approach disc. Off the tee disc, I can throw turnovers with this. I can really get this on a straight line to get off to the right. I know it's not going to come back on me. Very nice disc, the Deputy. Next, we'll move on to my mid-ranges. I carry 6 mid-ranges. We'll start with the overstable first. This one needs a little cleaning. I was just out the other day. But I carry the Justice, one Justice. This is for all my forehand approach discs. This has hit a couple trees, so it's more of a straight flyer now. It still has a little bit of a fade, but not as much as it was when it was brand new. So I use this mainly for my forehand shots off the tee, when I just need to go straight and with a little fade to the right. The next one in my bag is the Vandal. The Verdict. The Dynamic Disc Verdict in the Lucid X plastic. I have 2 of these. Carry one with me. I really love this disc. It's very beefy. Not as beefy as a Justice brand new, but this is my backhand off the tee when I really need it to get around that corner and fade to the left really hard, quick. This thing is so reliable for that, so I really love the Verdict. The next 2 discs are EMAC Truths. I have one in the Fusion X plastic. I really love the EMAC Truth for a very dependable flight, very straight, or if I release it on a little bit of an angle, it's gonna hold that angle. It might flip up to flat and then have the fade that I'm looking for. Both of these discs are very well used. This one is just a Fusion plastic, but they both fly very similarly, so I keep 2 in the bag, one as a backup. Next we'll move up to understable disc, Dynamic Disc Evidence. This disc I got and I love it. Got it from a friend who wasn't using it anymore, and this thing is so nice. This might be one of the most used discs in my bag. It has an awesome flight to it. And I know they don't make any more runs of it, but I just heard that they're coming out with a new run of the Evidence, and I'm looking forward to getting a couple of those new runs of the evidence, because this is a must in my bag, and you can't find these anywhere anymore. And so if I were to lose this, I would have to find something similar to this, and I only have one. The last mid-range that I carry is the Bounty, double stamp Bounty, the Lucid plastic. This thing is a go-to when I'm need a tunnel shot. When I need to have a shot shaped in the woods where it goes, where it turns a lot and then comes back a little bit, the Bounty is where I go. It's one of my favorite mid-ranges in my bag as well. Use it a lot for those tunnel shots. Moving on to Fairway Drivers, which I have a ton of but hardly use most of them, but I carry a lot of Fairway Drivers. I have several Fairway Drivers. We'll start with the overstable and move on. So I carry two Fallons. I have this pink Fallon that I use for forehand shots. This thing used to be beefy, but it got ran over by a couple cars and hit some trees, so this thing flies very straight for me. If I need to get down the fairway or down in the woods straight, I know I can depend on this to have a straight, reliable flight, and it will still fade a little bit at the end, but not much. If I need a lot of fade at the end, I'm going to go to my yellow Fallon. It's pretty much new. I think I've hit one tree with this, so it still has its beefiness, and I know I can trust this flight in the winds especially, and if I really need to get over to the right of something forehand wise. I don't throw these backhand. I just don't have the arm speed yet for throwing it backhand. So when I need something that's overstable backhand, I go with my Getaway. My Getaway Fusion Plastic. I just got this at Christmas time. I love this disc. It will fly straight for me with that reliable fade to the left at the end. And so I go for the Getaway for backhands. For overstable forehands, I use my Fallons. Next in the bag are my Escapes. I have this new Escape which has not hit a tree yet, and so it has the Escape dependable straight fly. It turns just a little bit, not much, but it has that reliable fade at the end to go straight down the fairway and get some big distance with this Escape. My other Escape actually is my big distance driver because it's hit a few trees. It flies more like a Vandal. I used to bag a Vandal, but now I just bag this Escape because it flies further than my Vandal, and it has the same flight as a Vandal because I've hit way too many trees with this guy in the woods. I love this disc. Next, we'll move to our slower fairway drivers. Starting with the overstable, I carry two evaders. One is the special edition evader. This thing is beefy. It is very much like a Getaway, but not as much distance. And so if I need something quick and get around a corner, but I don't need a whole lot of distance, I'll grab this evader. The other evader has seen a couple tree hits. I would say this fly is very similar to a brand new Maverick now, and so I carry it for my straight shots. I can throw this flat and know it's going to go straight and have just a touch of fade at the end. Next in the bag is my two Mavericks. My pink Maverick is very much a Maverick flight right out of the box. I don't grab this much. I usually go for the evader if I need a Maverick flight, but I keep this in the bag just because every now and again I'll throw it, and the reason I throw it is because this is my heavy used in the woods driver. Is my yellow Maverick. I've beat this thing and it's hit so many trees. It does not have a true flight of a Maverick anymore. It's more understable than what the flight numbers are, and so I'll throw this in the woods and I'll throw it a little bit of angle, let it pop up and let it ride out, and then fade just a little bit at the end. Or if I need to, if I need it to go turn, have a lot of turn, I'll just throw it flat and let it turn down the fairway. So heavy used Maverick. My last fairway driver in the bag is a Latitude Diamond. Very unstable disc. The reason I carry this is because Dynamic Disc does not have anything currently that they run that is comparable to the Diamond. This thing flies very nice. When I throw it on a flat line, it's going to turn and hold that line for me. And I use this in the woods, not as much as a Maverick, but if I really need to get to the right and I need a backhand throw and I can't throw my forehand, I'll go ahead and reach for this. The last disc in my bag I don't throw very often. It is a used Captain, and so this is my distance driver. I don't have the arm speed for it, but I want to grow into it, and I saw a video that said carry a disc with you that you can grow into, and so my goal is, because of the just the neutral flight of this, that I'll be able to grow into it and start bombing the Captain out there further than my Escape. I throw this about the same distance as my Escape, the one that is more beating, but I'm hoping to grow into this disc more. That's my in the bag for 2023 for this season. Looking forward to this season, as this is my second year in disc golf, and looking forward to growing in my abilities and skills, and we'll see if anything new gets into the bag throughout the year, or if anything gets taken out and replaced with something else. Thanks for watching.